Hey, it's time for the Ask Me Anything. So you guys have left me a bunch of questions over on TikTok, Instagram and Patreon, and I'm going to try my best to answer the lot. So let's jump straight into it. Right, so Bex333 over on TheFactFreak official on TikTok says, not a question, but I think your content and you are amazing. Can I just say, Bex, thank you so much. It means so much when people leave such nice comments like that. And I think you guys are amazing, and you especially for taking time out to ask me a question. And the question is, how do deep dives come about? I assume you mean the origin of the deep dives and why I started doing them. Originally, I was the music fact freak. I wanted to do videos, obviously, about music. And people would ask me to do videos about different things. So they would say, could you do one on, I don't know, a football team or a TV show? And so I did them. So then I became the fact freak. But then people would ask me when I was doing crime videos, if you think that's bad, look at this person on TikTok. And that led me to do my first deep dive on Mark Freely. Thanks for the question. Let's look at another. Now this is an interesting question. If you had to pick, would you rather taste everything through your fingertips, everything, or smell everything through your toes? I mean, if I had to taste everything through my fingertips, I'd have to touch everything I was eating. And it would smell everything through your toes. I mean, my fucking feet already smell. Exposing myself for having terrible feet. Literally, it's a train wreck down there. I've got fucking toenails missing, all sorts. Christ. I don't think it tastes... Oh, no, because whenever I put my fingers on, and we're talking, I would also have to taste. Oh, I don't know. Christ, I'm going to go with taste everything through your fingertips. Oh my god, I'd be tasting my desk right now. Is that a good thing? Or, I don't know. I'm going to have to go with that one. This is another question all the way from TheFactFreak7 on TikTok, and it's from Jackie. Now, Jackie says, what's the most shocking information you found out on a deep dive? I've got to say it was pretty early on. And it was having to listen to the audio recordings of Ian Moore talking sexually to a minor. Now, I know there's a lot more behind that, and I believe that the investigation from the police found that Ian had been lied to about the child's age or whatever. However, listening to those DMs, listening to Ian being sexual, it was pretty... Oh, it's not something I wanted to be hearing. I'm just glad that he is somewhat not putting out this... Well, he's not putting out the same sort of vibes, but, that just creeped me out. It just creeped me out. No disrespect to Ian, but, I'm sure when we're all doing the nasty, we don't want random people listening, because it's... Now, the next question is from Maxi. I'm a fan of your pads, over on TheFactFreak7, and she said, why did you start doing your deep dives? I've kind of already answered that, so I'm going to sort of change it slightly to why do I still do the deep dives? I believe it's important to get awareness out of all of the people that I've covered, and not only, for instance, we're talking about someone like Holpol, who I did a video about because she was driving while using TikTok, and I believe that's dangerous and setting a bad example. I wasn't exactly condemning her as a character. It was more putting out that, this is not the right way to do things. You have some responsibility. So yeah, I believe that awareness is a massive thing, and people were listening to me, so if I didn't do them, maybe I was doing a disservice in some way. I don't know. What do you guys think? Next question, left on TheFactFreak7. What makes you tick? I had to ask what they meant, and they said, what motivates me? I'm going to say one of the biggest motivations is when I do a deep dive on somebody, for instance, like Princess Flu, or Sasha Fontaine, or Geordie Princess, or whoever it is, and somebody says, "Oh wow, I didn't know who these people are now, but thank you for telling me so I know." Or somebody saying, "Wow, I used to follow this person. I can't believe I was supporting somebody such a monster." That to me is like job done, awareness, job done. I mean, there's other things as well. You know, I've been able to help people with harassment cases and bullying and support people in different ways. Um, but that to me, those comments, receiving comments like that means a hell of a lot. It means that the word's getting out there, the videos are doing what they are intended to do. This one's a great question left on the Fact Freak 7. How long does it take for you to find out all of the information needed for a deep dive? Now, I have currently 6 people under investigation, and I have like a USB like storage thing on my computer, all dedicated to all of this stuff. And what I do is I sort of, right, today I'm going to have a search into that person, or I've heard this particular thing about that person, I'm going to have a little dive into it. And I make sure everything's labelled up nice and neatly, the way I've saved it and stored it, so when I go back to it, I know exactly what that information's going to be. Now, in all truth, I can have information come to me on the day that I'm about to finish filming the deep dive. And if the information is strong enough and I think it's necessary, it can cause a whole rewrite of the script or that deep dive to fit that information in. A lot of times as well, it's about vetting information. And what I mean by that is somebody can send me, I have no evidence, but I've heard that they've done this horrendous thing. Have you? And then I've got to go and look and see if I can find evidence of that. And there's a lot of things like that that people tell me that just aren't obviously included in the deep dive because it's just hearsay. It's the fact freak, isn't it? We don't deal with hearsay. So I would say, to be fair, it does take quite a long time to get information together. Maybe about a month, when I set myself targets on certain ones, obviously I can wrap it up quicker. Just depends how much time that I can actually give it as well, with work and with being a single full-time parent and stuff like that. I don't have an amazing amount of time to sit here and research, so I've got to fit it in chunks. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Now, this is a really good question. We're really getting into it now. So, do you ever get concerned about the backlash from people you do deep dives on? If so, how do you handle that? Do I ever get concerned? I don't normally get concerned, but I've noticed there's a pattern of how people will react. So, when somebody finds out I'm doing a deep dive on them, they usually challenge like, who's he? Who knows him? Who does this? Da, 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 da. But then they usually get greeted by my reputation, that I deliver facts, etc., etc. Then they normally go down the line of saying things like, there'll be nothing new on this deep dive, you know everything, da, da, da. So it becomes them then trying to push the narrative, you don't need to check this out, don't worry about it. You have someone like Princess Flu who laughed all the way through it and then reacted in a way that nobody else has, created a profile on TikTok, calling myself a nonce. I mean, you can look at that video, I did a video about it on here. But stuff like that, when they do things like that, it just shows, alright, sorry, so I did get to you. I did expose you and you are worried. People mass report my videos to try and get me off TikTok. That's why I moved the deep dives onto YouTube, because obviously, unlike TikTok, where you're dealing with computers and bots to make decisions about your videos, on YouTube you're actually dealing with human beings, and this doesn't break terms and conditions over on YouTube. The thing is as well, like when I did move to YouTube, it meant that I could do bigger videos anyway and do more thorough research as far as I was concerned. So, TikTok's mainly used now to promote YouTube. I wanted to still do my news article bits on there and things like that, but people who I do the deep dive on will mass report some of those videos. So, say I did one about crime, they would mass report as being violent content, and then I get a strike on my TikTok. Because that's the easiest way. You see, if they can silence me, then I'm potentially not going to get traffic, viewers coming to check out the YouTube. So that's something I'm fighting against all the time, but to be fair, I think I'm winning with videos on YouTube, in the thousands when it comes to views, one of them 10,000, 5,000, you know what I mean? It seems to be going okay. And as for them saying things about me personally, if I'm doing a deep dive on you, I don't like you, and I don't care what you think of me. Now, here's a question coming from one of my Patreon subscribers. For those of you who don't know what Patreon is, there'll be a link in the information, www.patreon.com/TheFactFreak. Basically, it's a way of making a monthly donation to a creator that you enjoy. I only ask for £2 a month if you want to do that. There's quite a few people do it, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, the question. What do you personally find the hardest and most difficult, challenging about doing deep dives? Now let's get into it, guys. I've got to say that it's mentally exhausting. There has to be... I think that people think a lot of the time that I take gaps between deep dives because I'm doing research and that I'm, up to my chin in research, which I am, but as I mentioned earlier, I try and stagger that research. The main reason is now and again I take a step back for my own mental health. It's not nice listening to people like Sasha Fontaine, for example, screaming, body shaming people, completely deluded as a woman. Princess Flu, stealing money from a disabled girl. Getting right into the dark, the depths, the horror of what people can be like. And obviously listening to screaming, shouting, just people being horrible people. It's not how a lot of people would want to spend their weekends or their evenings or whatever. But I make sure that I don't overload myself. Like I say, I'll go in, listen to it. It's a bit too much. I've done enough research tonight. I'll come back to it tomorrow. Some videos I record parts and then I stop, save, move on, record another video that I'm working on. Take breaks for myself. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, that is the hardest part. The hardest part is finding out what people are really capable of. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A, and if you're interested in me doing another one, a part 2, put your questions in the comments here on YouTube. So in this video, not the live chat, if you just wait a little bit for it to end, and you can click the video again, and then you can comment on the comment section there, and I will endeavour to answer every question you leave. I don't care what it is. I've tried to do that with this one. I hope everyone has a great Sunday. As you probably noticed, on Sundays I often drop a video on YouTube as well. This is going to be a regular thing where it's a bit of a light-hearted video, like a reaction video, something like this. Alright, have a great week, and I hope your next week is going to be amazing. Peace.